Most people see 9 bullets as an ending, but for Curtis Jackson, they were a business plan. On May 24, 2000, 50 Cent was sitting in a car outside his grandmother's house in Queens when a gunman opened fire at point-blank range. One bullet shattered his jaw, another ripped through his hand, and others tore into his legs. Most artists would have gone into hiding. 50 Cent did the opposite. He took the fragments of lead still lodged in his body and used them as the ultimate marketing tool to build a billion-dollar empire. You're about to see how a man with no formal education leveraged trauma, extreme risk, and a burn-it-all-down attitude to become one of the most sophisticated businessmen in modern history. This is the blueprint of how to turn chaos into a massive competitive advantage. When 50 Cent left the hospital, he was dropped by his record label, blacklisted from the radio, and essentially left for dead by the industry. But here's the thing about having nothing to lose. You become the most dangerous person in the room. He realized that the music industry wasn't buying songs. They were buying a story. He started flooding the streets with free mixtapes, effectively open-sourcing his brand before that was even a term in tech. He created a sense of scarcity and danger that made suburban kids feel like they were part of a revolution. He didn't ask for a seat at the table. He built his own table in the middle of a war zone. By the time Eminem and Dr. Dre came knocking with $1 million contract, 50 Cent had already won. He had more leverage than any rookie in history. Get Rich or Die Tryin' didn't just sell 12 million copies because the beats were good. It sold because 50 had spent 2 years perfecting the villain archetype. He disrupted the industry by being louder, meaner, and more strategic than anyone else. But while everyone thought he was just another rapper looking for a chain and a car, he was actually studying the fine print of every contract he touched. And that's when he made the phone call that changed the game of celebrity endorsements forever. In the early 2000s, rappers wanted liquor deals and clothing lines. 50 Cent wanted equity. He noticed that he was drinking vitamin water at the gym constantly, so instead of asking for a fee to appear in a commercial, he took a minority stake in the parent company, Glacio. At the time, people thought he was crazy. Why would a hardcore rapper from Queens be shilling Formula 50 grape water? But 50 understood something his peers didn't. Dividends beat a paycheck every single time. He spent the next few years relentlessly plugging the brand in music videos and interviews. $1 billion in 2007, 50 Cent reportedly walked away with a check between $60 million and $100 million. In one afternoon, he made more money from water than he ever did from music. He had successfully decoupled his income from his time, but wealth at that level brings a new kind of target on your back, and the transition from rapper to mogul was about to hit a massive wall of litigation and bankruptcy filings. Wait until you hear how he used a Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing as a tactical chess move to actually protect his wealth, rather than admitting defeat. While the headlines were screaming that he was broke, 50 Cent was actually restructuring his empire to prepare for his next pivot, Hollywood. He realized that the music industry was shrinking, but appointment television was where the real leverage lived. He didn't just want to act, he wanted to own the production. He took a gritty, low-budget concept called Power to the Stars network. Most producers would have been happy with a modest success. 50 turned it into a universe. By the time he signed his massive multi-year deal with Stars, he had become the most valuable asset on the network. He wasn't just a face on the screen, he was the architect of a billion-dollar content engine. Think about the sheer scale of that transition. You go from being a kid selling drugs on a corner in Jamaica, Queens, to being the executive producer of a global television franchise. 50 Cent knows exactly what his brand is worth to a corporation that needs his cool factor, and he charges a premium for it. He treats every interaction as a negotiation, where he has the upper hand, simply because he's willing to walk away from any deal that doesn't offer him long-term equity. As we look at his portfolio today, which includes everything from premium cognac and champagne brands like Le Chemin du Roi to major sports betting partnerships, the lesson is clear. You have to be willing to reinvent yourself before the world forces you to. He didn't wait for his music career to fade. He used the peak of his fame as a launchpad into industries with much higher ceilings. He mastered the art of the pivot before anyone even realized the ground was shifting beneath them. What fueled this entire journey wasn't just a desire for money. It was a psychological obsession with power. He studied Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power so intensely that he ended up co-authoring a book with him. He learned that in business, your reputation is your most valuable currency. If people believe you are unstoppable, they treat you as if you are. He weaponized his past to make his future bulletproof. The ultimate takeaway from the 50-cent story isn't about the shots fired or the bottles sold. It's about the mindset of high-level leverage. He proved that you can take the most chaotic, traumatic experiences of your life and turn them into the very foundation of a business empire. He didn't just survive the 9 shots, he made them pay him interest for the rest of his life. If a man can build a billion-dollar legacy, starting with nothing but a shattered jaw and a dream, what's actually stopping you from making your next big move? Next time you think you've hit a dead end, ask yourself if you're actually at the start of your biggest pivot yet.